watercolor paper, like scrap paper would do, and then a glass or like a cup, just for tracing. That's what we need the cup for. So if you guys wanna go and find a glass, any size is fine. I'm using a little bit bigger one so you guys can see it. And then I'm gonna go over what we did last time. So we did the technique where you just leave the dry pencil, and then we did the dry, and then you add water, and then the wet, so you already have the water, and then you add the colored pencil, so wet and then add dry. We also got familiar with our colors, so we created a color wheel. Little pies. And we practiced filling in the colored pencil lines with the water, so it's a solid color. So you can see in the flower, it's a solid color. There we go, solid color in the flowers. And today, we're gonna focus on blending the details with dry pencil afterward, and then the importance of leaving a white background as white for your image you're creating, or if you have white in your picture, that would be the background of the paper. So here's what we're going to be creating today. It's going to be an orange slice. Going to lower this a little bit so you guys can see detail. Okay, so we first start off with your orange pencil. Get the paper ready. We center our glass on the paper. And then we're going to trace the outline. So we're going to trace the cup all the way around just to create a perfect circle. All right. So mine wasn't exactly perfect, but that's okay. And darken it up so you guys can see it. All right, so now we have the outline of the orange. That's this part right here. And we're gonna put a yellow line right inside. So all the way around, we're just gonna do another yellow circle. It's gonna create the thick skin that you see. So right now we're just still doing the dry technique, no water added. Okay, so now we're gonna choose where our triangles are gonna be. So you can start from wherever you think the middle is. Doesn't have to be exact. We're gonna draw a line up to the top of the circle. And then on the other side, we're gonna draw up to make like a pie shape. The same shape you guys made last week with the color wheel. And then we're gonna round this up. So here we have our first pie shape of the orange. And then the next one, same thing. We're gonna start somewhere in the middle, draw up. And it's very important to keep that white space right in between them. Go up in the middle. And these can be different sizes. I'm gonna go do another one. Start in the middle, go up. Round it off. Draw another one. Again, keeping the white space in between these is very important. This one, I'm going to draw a little skinnier. And then I think we can fit 2 more. Two lines and round it off. And the last one, start in the middle, go to the edge. And then round it off. Okay, so now we're going to still dry. We're going to add some yellow inside each triangle. So all the way to the edges, each triangle is going to be filled in. And then add some orange to give it some texture. And blend colors. Okay, I'm gonna take a minute if you guys are following along, just so everybody can fill in those triangles. Okay, so now that all the triangles are filled in, we're gonna take the orange pencil again. And off to the side, I'm gonna show you a shape that we're gonna be drawing inside the triangles. So over here, I'm gonna show you, it's like a little almond shape. So one curved line, and then next to it is gonna be another curved line. And all over inside these triangles, we're gonna create some texture. Zoom in. So like little ovals. So you're gonna take your orange pencil, still keeping it dry. We're gonna fill in these triangles. So anywhere you can start in the triangle. You can make them big, you can make them small, just to create some texture. We're gonna fill all these in. Once again, they don't have to be all the same size. They can be small, big, any size you like. And another tip with these pencils, if you push harder, the color will be bolder and it'll create more contrast. If you keep it light, it's harder to see and it's lighter. So if you guys want hard, bold lines, you push a little bit harder on the paper. All right, so the next step would be grab your brush. Gonna take a minute so you guys can catch up if you're going along with it. Here is the example. So we're gonna take our brush and we're gonna wash lightly over each triangle. And the goal is to not get any water in between the triangles to keep it white space around them. So here we go. And this is just the first layer. After this, we're gonna add more orange and red. So here I go, start blending the colors. You can start from out and go into the middle, any way you like. And then remember where you started, because that triangle will dry faster, and then that's the next triangle that we're gonna work on after this step. Really lightly, just go over all the triangles. And the less water you use, the faster drying time. Last one. And here's a little tip. If you're quick about it and you don't want a certain area wet, take your paper towel and just dab it. It'll soak it right up. There we go. It's kind of like watercolor pencil's eraser a little bit. Just takes away the mistake. So this is gonna need a little time to dry, and then you guys can catch up a little bit. You can blow on it, that helps. You can see the white spaces on this example are nice and empty. It really pulls off the lines in between the fruit. While this is drying, here's an example of one of my beauty and unlikely faces. You can see I left the white spaces of the dandelion seeds. So this is actually the paper. It's not paint or anything. It's just the paper of the background. So anything you see is white, that's the paper. The shine on the bug, the shine on the inside. So it's very important to remember the white for watercolor is your paper. And then I also use the technique of the blending. So this background is actually, I started off with very light black and then green and some yellows. And you can see the yellows down here. But mostly this whole background is actually the black I used. And this ladybug is mainly the dry technique. And then you can see I added water up here to blend. And the white for the stem, that's the same as the white in between the orange. Very fine line. You can use it to create contrast, the white with the dark background. Okay, so I'm going to check if this is dry.